This video is sponsored by Raycon. Stick around to after the video to learn more. Hello everyone and welcome back. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Now before we start, just want to mention something. Now EB Games is the GameStop equivalent in Australia, and they're selling at the moment Anthem for $1.
Hey, here's my last buck.
This is the last time I'm gonna tell you.
Oh, come on. He's
Stay
just trying to make some money. Leave him alone.
Now I just thought I'd mention that, okay? It's a valuable game. Definitely check it out. For $1, maybe check Anthem out for $1. Now we've got a lot to get through today. We've got Avengers news. We've got PS5 scalping news. Actually, that's kind of the two topics that we're going to be discussing today. All this and more after the drop. Now, look, can we just start with the simple question? Hasn't Avengers copped enough flack?
That hurt a little, but I'm alright.
Well, yes and no, really. And look, if we can meme on it and tell you a bit about what's going on, then it's all worth it. Now, Avengers has had a very, very rocky start. We know this. Now, when superhero movies have been so goddamn successful, and superhero stuff in general, Spider-Man 2018 and Miles Morales recently, also extremely successful, you would expect that, hey, Avengers successful in movies, surely an Avengers game is going to be just as successful.
That is correct.
Oh yeah, bring that shit on, man.
Not really, but you can see the train of thought why someone would think that that would be true. It would be so easy to just make an Avengers game, everyone would love it, and everyone would play it. Now the train wreck started really with a marketing campaign, with the whole monetization emphasis, when they showed it to us at the big Square Enix event, where it was going to be the showcase, the reveal of Avengers the game. But they spent a lot of the time talking about the actual monetization instead of actually showing the game. Then the beta was released, and of course when that was released, everyone's like, oh, this is a buggy mess, this is a bit of a disaster, this is not looking good, this is not it, chief. But hey, it was still releasing about a month after the beta, and as you guys know, if it's a beta, things can change in 3 weeks. It's all good.
They've done studies, 60% of the time, it works every time.
And of course, when it did come out in September, it did take the place of the highest selling game in September. It did actually beat Tony Hawk and Mario 3D All-Stars. So it was kind of on the road to success. But of course, when the game did release and it had those 3 weeks between the beta and the actual release, this is what we got.
Sorry, my face is tired.
So after it released and we got a pretty buggy and hollow experience, for me at least, it went on to continue to disappoint. Since then we've seen next gen and DLC be pushed back. Little side note though, a few days ago it was confirmed that Kate Bishop, the first DLC character, is coming on December 8th, so they've finally now given us an actual release date for the first DLC, but it's been pushed back from the original time, end of October. But now there has been an update in terms of how much money they actually made in profit, or how much they didn't make in profit. It's now been reported that Square Enix lost approximately 7 billion yen, or 67 million freedom dollars, US dollars. That is a hell of a lot of money to be losing. The company president Yosuke Matsude, I think that's how to say it, explained in a newly translated results briefing, sales of Marvel Avengers were lower than we had expected and unable to completely offset the amortization of the game's development costs. As previously covered in another video, David Gibson, a video game analyst in Japan, said they sold 60% of what they were expecting to sell for Avengers. So I think Thanos just yeeted half of those sales. And it was also reported that the game cost about $100 million to make, freedom dollars, US dollars. Now, that is a lot of money. Now, Destiny, for instance, back in 2014, apparently cost $500 million to make. Some games can cost a lot more, but still $100 million is a lot of money to put at stake, hoping that it's actually going to be a good game and it's going to be successful, and it hasn't been yet. The company president Matsude continued, in addition to the amortization of the game's development costs, another significant factor associated with the title was the fact that we undertook a major advertising campaign at the time of its launch to make up for the delays in our marketing efforts resulting from the COVID-19 pandemic. There is a certain amount of development costs still to be amortized in third quarter, but we want to recoup it by growing our sales going forward. Now look, we know the marketing campaign was huge. It was huge, okay? But there was also a lot of cross-promotion going on there. I don't think I've ever seen a game couple up with so many brands to try and make some money on the side. Do you guys remember this? Avengers teamed up with 5Gum, the Intel Core i9, to really make you feel like Iron Man. That joke's been so done. Avengers Virgin cross-branding. I mean, look, if you're getting a phone call, you want to feel like Tony Stark. I'm doing the joke again. We've got to stop. Verizon skins. If you actually signed up with Verizon, you also got skins. There's, of course, these ones.
Be connected!
Now, for me personally, I just think it's absolutely disgusting when a brand, person, or product does cross-promotion with another brand just to make a bit of money. I mean, I think that's just absolutely disgusting.
Stick around to after the video to learn more.
Now, of course, I understand that they're looking to partner up with a lot of these brands, so hopefully they can make a bit more money and hopefully put it into further DLCs and further improving the game and all that kind of business. But the main question is, can they make their money back? That's the real question, all right? And they're talking about losing $67 million US, but they've said also in the article, they do believe they can make that back by releasing further DLCs, further patch, and further just content in general. Now, I've said this always, you need a strong, small community for that revival or that survival to really take place. Destiny had it, Final Fantasy XIV, Division even had it. You had a small community that were there and they wanted it to get better, and when it got better, they were there to tell their friends how great the game is. Now, another article from Screen Rant recently was speaking about Marvel's population dropping 96% on PC. Now, it's important to make that distinction, it's just on PC. But when a population on PC goes down that much, we can kind of assume that the population on the consoles is probably suffering too. I think the numbers don't lie here. It doesn't seem like they're in a really strong position. A lot of the player base has fled. They don't have that core fan base to tell all their friends around them that, hey, this game's great now, come back. I hope it does. A lot of people have put money into this game. Even though the monetization is terrible in this game, a lot of people have already put $80 into this game. I hope that this game does come back, and a lot of people that did love the original idea, they finally got what they paid for. In other news, PS5 console units are just so plentiful that they just can't get through all the stock.
You only have enough for the next 3 customers!
Now, when a new console comes out, there's always a bit of pandemonium, right? Everyone wants to jump on, buy it ASAP. Not to mention, there's more people playing games more than ever. We're living in a digital age. Everyone's jumping on and buying everything on the web. Of course, the pandemic too, we can't forget that. It's just harder and harder to get your hands on a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox, especially an Xbox because of all those exclusives. Am I too hard on Xbox? And I'm sure you're aware that everyone is now waiting for the next shipment of PlayStation 5 and Xbox and whatever. And up until recently, it seemed like articles were surfacing a few weeks ago that it wasn't going to be until April next year that we might see the PS5. It's only until recently, about 2 days or so, that it started saying that we may see PS5s as early as the 15th of December, at least in Australia. So we may be seeing resupply of the PlayStation 5 at least before Christmas, which is of course great news. And while we wait for the resupply of the PlayStation 5, scalpers have been busy at work making it even more difficult to get your hands on the next gen console. VGS recently published an article saying scalpers group say it has no regrets over reselling 3,500 PlayStation 5 consoles. Now, when the pre-orders went live in October, it was a frenzy, but it wasn't until the shipments started to come in November that scalpers were made apparent, because they were reselling on sites and Facebook and whatever at nearly double the price. Now, we're not talking about the average Joe that might put a pre-order here and a pre-order there because they're not sure if that store or that store is going to come through with their actual order. We're talking about people that are a unified army that are scalping thousands and thousands of PlayStation 5s. Now, the company name is Crep Chief Notify. They usually specialize in shoes and sportswear in terms of rare shoes and rare sportswear and all that kind of stuff. But of course, when they knew that the PlayStation 5 was going to be rare, they jumped in and took as many as they could.
I did it. Second in line, and all I had to do was miss 8 days of work.
Give me 30,000.
That'll be $950,000, please.
Oh.
Now, of course, we've seen a lot of backlash in this on Twitter, Reddit, you name it, it's been everywhere. Unanimously, people are like, dude, there is not a lot of stock here, and now you've just robbed me of my PlayStation 5, so you can just sell it for twice the price. But hey, don't worry, these evil scalpers, they had some reasoning behind it. It's to feed the children. In a statement from a representative from Crate Chief Notify, they said lots of our community have been furloughed, made redundant, or at some form of disadvantage due to the pandemic. These people have managed to cover their bills, put food on the table, and supply Christmas presents to their children. It may be unfortunate that a child won't wake up to a PlayStation 5 this Christmas, but another child may have woken up to nothing. We have no regrets. Okay, please, no, I can't hear anymore. It's gross. Absolute nonsense. You're hoarding supply of an already predetermined price of a product, then redistributing it, adding no value whatsoever, alright? Just increasing the price of it because you've added and aided to its scarcity. That's it. That's all you're doing. But the best news, of course, to come from all of this is hopefully there are going to be some PS5s on December 15th, which of course all these scalpers will have thousands of consoles that they can't sell and they walk away with a loss. That would be great. But we'll have to see if that actually comes to fruition. Yes, fruition, that's the word we'll use. Thank you very much all for tuning in today. Love you, appreciate you, like and sub, all that kind of business. I will see you guys next time. But first, a word from our sponsor.
Raycon offers their wireless earbuds in a range of fun colours and patterns. They're super comfortable and come in a variety of fit options. Raycon earbuds start at about half the price of any other premium wireless earbud on the market, and they sound just as amazing as the other top audio brands you know. Their latest model, the Everyday E25, is the best one yet, with 6 hours of playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, and a more compact design that gives you a nice noise-isolating fit, fam. It also comes in new, fun colours too. Pretty cool. Now's the time to get the best price of the year on Raycons, but hurry! This offer is available for a limited time only. Click the link in the description box or go to buyraycon.com/layman to get 20% off your Raycon purchases now, fam. Thank you, Raycon, for sponsoring the episode. Give it a click, it always helps the Layman guys. We will see you next time. Layman out!